Hi, my name is Mark, one of the TLC pastors. You've probably noticed that day after day after day, we are bombarded with bad news, right? Bad news is what makes the headlines. Bad news is the focus of most of the segments on the nightly news. And yet, at the same time, there are good, godly, glorious things going on in our midst. We either don't notice them, we don't care to feature them in our news stories, but they're happening nonetheless. And how do I know this? Well, I know this because Jesus actually promised that's the way it would happen as his kingdom began to grow and expand more and more and more. In fact, in Matthew 13, verses 31 through 32, he says it this way. He tells this parable. He says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all your seeds, when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree so that the birds of the air can come and perch in its branches." Well, you get the point. Something very small grows into something big and beautiful, and it is a blessing for other things, in this case, the birds that have a place to perch. Well, I'm convinced that if Jesus were telling that same parable in our part of the world, he wouldn't use a mustard seed. No, I think he would have used one of these. I want to show you this on the tip of my finger. You see that little speck right there? That is the seed of a coastal redwood tree. Right there. Look at how small it is. And yet I'm sure you also know that the coastal redwood tree is the tallest tree in the world. In fact, in 2006, they discovered a coastal redwood just in the northern part of our state, 380 feet tall. It's called Hyperion, and it's estimated to be 600 years old. It's kind of a teenager, but in terms of how old redwoods get, but it is the tallest known tree in the world. And it started out its life, like all redwoods do, like that. Isn't that amazing? In fact, this will kind of blow your mind. In this little glass cup, I have probably a couple hundred redwood seeds. I'm essentially holding, in terms of its potential, a redwood forest. And yet, it fits in this tiny little cup right here. It's just amazing. But again, Jesus wants us to know that's how the kingdom will grow. We might not always see it because it's happening inside of someone's heart, or it's an anonymous act where someone reaches out with the love of Christ. In so many ways, that's how the kingdom is growing. One heart, one life, one Christ-like deed at a time. And so be encouraged by that. In fact, you can be a part of that today as you look for ways to reach out and share the love of Christ with someone else. And in doing so, you're not only participating in the kingdom now, but it will remind you that the day is going to come when the kingdom will arrive in all its fullness. Christ will return, and heaven and earth will come together. That prayer of Jesus, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, it will be fully realized. So be encouraged by that, and may God give you eyes open to see what he might have you do as a part of his kingdom today. Well, God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.